Greetings, Past Summit 2026 presentation selection board. This is just a sample of what I would be like on stage. My name is Mark Vogt, V-O-G-T. I'm a principal solution architect with AVANADE with Accenture. My presentation, my proposed one, is about something we call the agent supervisor workbench. It's a pattern, goes something like this. If we look at an organization and we ask how best to do agentic in an organization, we see that Microsoft has worked really hard throughout the decades to create this lower tier beneath the experts and developers that they're already empowering, but look at these power users and begin to provide them with the tools they need to be able to form a legitimate part of solution building an organization. A popular tool that they've provided recently is Copilot Studio, and it's evolved considerably over just the last couple of years. Once you've got a tool like that, you start looking at your business processes. The goal is to try to do something called intelligent automation. So you're modeling your business process from the green start to the red stop with all of the individual activities in between, and you've tried to identify where one or more agents could possibly be used. So now you got all these agents floating around everywhere, and you're thinking, I get it. We're going to put agents everywhere. It's all going to be great. But then comes the question, now what? Microsoft is saying that once you start producing all of these agents, they're going to be ubiquitous across the entire organization. Microsoft has started to create a control plane for all of the agents themselves. So you've got human workers with all the tools they use. You have agents with some kind of a control plane for trying to organize these agents. But essentially, everybody in an organization is going to get their own little squad, their own little fleet of agents that they're going to become the supervisors of. What do you do? What should collaborating with those digital workers actually start to look like? Everybody seems to be focused on the agents. Everybody's focused on the agent-to-agent interactions. Check. Most people have solved the human-to-agent singular action. Chatbots, things like this. Me talking to one minion. But what if I've got a whole bunch of minions? What is that going to look like? Is it going to be different for every single process that I'm trying to intelligently automate? Is it going to be different every single time? Imagine what that might look like. How do we solve that human to fleet of agents, that myriad interactions? What can and should that start to look like? We've started to face that in the last year, and what we've slowly started to see at AVANADE at Accenture is the need for something that we call the agent supervisor workbench. It's comprised of 4 key parts. 4 key panels, but it's repeatable. It's a cookie cutter pattern that you can use over and over and over again on various types of business processes that you are intelligently automating inside your organization, whether they're IT related or whether they're on the business side, and they're made up of these pieces. You've got a panel at the very top that are process-specific KPIs that you can go and see at a glance then how your business process is responding to the fact that it has been made agentic, that you've intelligently automated it. At a glance, you can look at those metrics, drill into them to learn more, get some reporting, but it keeps it simple. On the left-hand side, you've got a new fleet of agents. You want to know how they're doing. This gives you a list of all of the individual agents that are there with little simple intuitive icons to tell you how they're doing. So if one of them is sick, if one of them has high CPU utilization, or if it's stuck, you get to drill into that agent and materially you get to manage it and actually change the way it behaves, all from inside this one workbench. The meat of the application is in the middle. Think of it as a universal inbox where the individual items that you're looking at are instances of the business process that you are intelligently automating. We've got, in this case, a whole bunch of individual invoices, and you have agents, workers, digital workers, and human workers collaborating. One is not supervising the other. They're collaborating. There are going to be steps in invoice processing that are uniquely best done by human beings, and other steps that are decidedly done best by digital workers. This is a chance for you all to collaborate, that you at a glance as the human supervisor get to see everything that's going on in here. And if you see that there's one particular task that requires your attention, you drill in on it and you would get to see a detail page where the orchestrator agent running that instance of the business process is giving you a set of instructions on what it needs from you in order to continue using more digital workers to finish processing that particular agent. So this is a universal inbox. It might be invoices that you're working on. It might be a census that you're working on in the insurance business, or it might be an audit that you're actually performing as part of some other business process. You get the idea. Universal work item box. On the far right-hand side, we have a fourth item, a pop-up chat assistant. In the past, we've seen application after application, those personal productivity tools that we've come to rely upon, like Microsoft Word, Outlook, anything in the Microsoft Office, heck, even Google Docs and stuff like this. They begin to get more and more and more menu items. The menu items become drop downs. The drop down become flyout. There's so many flyouts that you start trimming it back. You try to put it in with you try to replace it with a ribbon bar. The ribbon bar becomes customizable. But why did you make it customizable? Because there's too many choices to be made. Microsoft has slowly evolved into now they're embedding a co-pilot. It's the everything else. Now that user interface, that user experience gets more and more compact. This is the only thing you need for everything else. You have a panel at the top for KPIs, a panel at the left-hand side for monitoring the health of your agents, a panel in the middle for actually interacting and collaborating with your fleet of agents that are assigned the task of working on this particular business process, like invoices. And for everything else, there's a chat. You can ask it for advice on what you should be doing next. You can ask it for reference information on the art and the science of invoice processing. You can ask it, why did you do the thing that you did? Or what's the status of this particular invoice? Or why is it stuck? Or what should I do? It is an everything else panel that gives you total access into everything else that you're going to need. And this particular pattern, this agent supervisor workbench pattern, can be applied to just about any business process inside your organization, so that when you're in this world of getting all of these different agents and Microsoft is busy trying to gather them in Agent 365, you can have a single common pattern that you apply to solution after solution inside business unit after business unit, and it's a common reusable pattern that ties typically into some kind of a data lake. And part of my presentation will talk about what those minimal requirements are for this kind of a workbench to be able to dovetail into what we are assuming to be an already existing data lakehouse, some kind of a delta lake. I hope you got an idea of what it's like to see me present, how animated I can be during a 60-minute presentation. If you have any questions, you can reach me at mark.vogt, VOGT, at avanade.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, guys.